Section number 7. Timescale and timeframes. The timescale of a crewed interstellar mission to Proxima Centauri is one of the most critical factors in determining its feasibility. A mission to a distant star system like Proxima Centauri, located 4.24 light years from Earth, would require careful planning to ensure that it aligns with technological, financial, and human resource constraints. In this section, we will explore the expected time frames of such a mission, from planning and development to travel and arrival, factoring in the technological advancements, propulsion systems, and human capabilities that would need to be in place within the next 2 centuries. Before embarkment on any interstellar mission, a significant amount of time will be required for mission planning, technology development, and construction. Given the complexity and the unprecedented nature of a crewed mission to another star system, the planning phase would likely take several decades to complete. So, key stages include conceptual design. So, might the conceptual design of some point already exists, to be honest, and those designs were existing from, I think, like from 70s. But like more detailed conceptual design uh, develop the actual spaceship and technology will take again decades. I think like something like from 2070 almost to the end of this century, 2100, we will be still in a process of developing conceptual design. Theoretical models of fusion propulsion, artificial gravity, uh, life support systems, and radiation shielding would be developed. During this time, humanity would likely continue refining and its understanding of space travel, advanced propulsion systems, and the challenges of deep space exploration. At the same time, robotic missions to nearby stars and exoplanets such as Proxima Centauri could be launched to gather preliminary data about target star system. So there were conversation and some talks and concept design about probes by solar sail, for instance. Those things should be all carried out before crewed mission. So entire 21st century will be between those technological preparation for technological developments, just only about theory. And then in 22nd century, beginning from the second half of 21st century, probably maybe as early, and the 22nd century, uh, the necessary propulsion and life support technologies would need to develop and tested. Achieving practical nuclear fusion propulsion, arguably the most likely propulsion system for interstellar travel, will be a major hurdle. This would require advancements in fusion research, nuclear engineering, and power generation. It is likely that nuclear fusion technology for space propulsion will be demonstrated in early 22nd century, probably in between something 2100 1150 year, with prototypes tested in the following decades. Additional advancements in artificial gravity, radiation shielding, and cryogenic life support systems would need to be tested in space environments. By in the middle of 22nd century, or maybe at the end of the 22nd century. So, at first, all these theories should be fulfilled, all concept designs should be provided, then it should become feasible, technology should be in place, a lot of things should be tested, a lot of things should be made in parallel, a lot of robotic missions should be sent to stars, and then after gathering and collecting all this information, we will be ready to build first interstellar spaceship, which I'm expecting to be somewhere in the middle of uh, 22nd century, probably 2150. So let's assume like construction of the spacecraft would begin in 2150 with materials, components, and modules being assembled in orbit on the moon. This approach would allow for greater efficiency in construction and transportation of materials to space. Robotic assembly technologies would need to be prepared to facilitate the building of large, complex spacecrafts capable of housing crews for decades. By the late 22nd century, or beginning of 23rd century, the crewed mission would enter the final phase of preparation. This would involve recruiting, training, and simulating the deep space environment for astronauts. The crew would undergo rigorous physical and psychological training to ensure they could endure the demands of long duration space missions. Scientists, engineers, and medical experts would be involved in the preparation to ensure that every aspect of mission life support, scientific research, crew health, and mission management is accounted for. The final preparations would also involve the testing of the spacecraft systems in simulated deep space environments, verifying all hardware and software for long-term functionality. The stage would take approximately 30 years to complete, maybe even more, considering the complexity of the mission and the need for contingency plans in case of failure. Once the spacecraft is fully constructed and the crew is ready, the interstellar journey itself would commence. Assuming the use of nuclear fusion propulsion, the spacecraft could reach speeds up to 30% of speed of light. As discussed earlier, the K factor influencing the travel time is the velocity of the spacecraft, which directly impacts the duration of the journey. So I think that finally, with like nuclear fusion reactor, nuclear fusion engine, we will achieve 30% top speed of light, and the journey to Proxima Centauri would like approximately takes 14 years. This is considered a plausible speed for fusion-powered spacecraft and would be the goal for the mission as it strikes a balance between feasibility and travel time. So therefore, at most optimistic estimates, using fusion propulsion and traveling at zero point 0.3 C, the journey would last approximately 14 years. This time frame would make mission feasible within a reasonable time period, with crewed space flight reaching a level of technology that could support such a journey. Relativistic effects during the journey. As the spacecraft approaches relativistic speeds, relativistic effects such as the time dilation and length contraction become increasingly important. These effects would impact both the crew and spacecraft itself. For example, the dilation means that the time would appear to pass much more slowly on the spacecraft relative to observers on Earth, allowing the crew to experience less passage of time. However, as we said, if we focus on zero point 0.3 c, so 30% of speed of light, there is not going to be time dilation very notable. It will be, as we said, 1.048, so 1.05, roughly 1.05. So the Lorentz factor, gamma factor, would approximately be 1.05. This means that every 0.5 years that pass on Earth, only 1 year would pass on the spacecraft. For 14-year journey, the crew would experience only 13.3 years of elapsed time while on Earth. More than 40 years would pass. The same thing will happen about like length contraction. At relativistic speeds, the length of the spacecraft along the direction of travel would contract. At zero point 0.3 c, the spacecraft would appear shorter in the direction of travel to an observer on Earth, though its effect would not be noticeable to the crew, and also there won't be that much change. While these relativistic effects will be significant for the crew, they will have no, little to no impact on the propulsion system, spacecraft, or mission objectives. Assuming the spacecraft reaches Proxima Centauri in 14 years, the next phase of the mission would involve scientific observation and exploration of the star system. This would take several years, as the spacecraft would need to map Proxima Centauri, study its atmosphere, and gather as much data as possible. The exploration phase would likely take anywhere from 3 to 5 years, depending on the complexity of the mission objectives and the findings. Upon arrival at Proxima Centauri, the crew would begin conducting detailed scientific observations, collecting samples, and transmitting data back to Earth. If the mission is successful, the scientific data gathered from Proxima Centauri B could yield groundbreaking information about the potential for life on other planets. The mission could also include the possibility of a return trip to Earth. However, this would require significant resources, including fuel and supplies. Given the immense distance, it is likely that the mission would be a one-way trip for the crew, with robotic systems handling data transmission and any subsequent missions. The timescale of crewed interstellar mission for Proxima Centauri spans several decades, or maybe 2 centuries, like we said. From conceptual design um, from the beginning of 2040s and 2060s, execution in late 21st century or in the middle of 22nd century, the total journey, assuming the nuclear fusion propulsion system, could take approximately 14 years, with the crew experiencing time dilation effects. The mission would likely take a total uh, like 30 to 40 years, including the completion of the exploration and returning back. So if it includes coming back. As propulsion technologies mature and as humanity advances, it is ability to conduct interstellar exploration. These timescales could become a reality by the beginning of 23rd century. And because today is January 16, that's the title on our thumbnail, that let's assume that it will happen on January 16, 2230. January 16, 2230. So beginning of 23rd century. That's the most uh, realistic time frame. The success of such mission would represent the pinnacle of human exploration, providing unprecedented insights into the nature of other star systems, potential for life beyond Earth, and the feasibility of interstellar travel. So that's pretty much for today's episode. If you have any questions or if you want to share any information, please subscribe, leave us comments, leave us questions, and let's discuss further. Thank you for listening, and until next time.